What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our great content. Hit up the comment section so we can have conversations and debate because ball is life. Lastly, hang on towards the end of this video so you can catch some of our suggested videos. Jumping right into this, what can I say? It's been a while since we talked about Carmelo Anthony, the great one. And I ran across this post that I thought was insane, man. And they said that Carmelo Anthony, shooting jumpers, pull-up jumpers, shot 64% from 2016 to 2017. So in that year, the 2016-17 basketball year, Carmelo Anthony shot 64% from the field. And honestly, that's insane. That's really insane. And you know what? So I started to think about this a little bit more, right? We talk about why Carmelo Anthony, we should be talking about why he's one of the best basketball players ever, but also why he's one of the best scorers ever. And in fact, let me look up his career field goal percentage. So I want to do something here. What is Carmelo Anthony's career field goal percentage? 44.7, so roughly 45%, which basically puts him around the same range as Kobe Bean Bryant. And so a lot of people will tell you that Melo's game was a dinosaur's game. It was a lot of ISO, it was a lot of one-on-one, blah, blah, blah. And they don't really want to tell you the truth, which is that Carmelo Anthony is by far one of the best scorers the NBA has ever seen. In the time period that he played in, more so Kobe, but Melo came in before this super open space three-point barrage. And what they don't tell you is even players like Kevin Durant, who shoot 50% from the field all the time, at the end of the day, Kevin Durant never really could have done that 50% shooting if he played the entire era that Carmelo Anthony did. Nobody shot 50% during that time. Not Melo, not LeBron, not Kobe, not Ray Allen, not Reggie Miller. And Reggie kind of played in two different eras, but I don't even think he shot 50% from the field. Vince Carter didn't, T-Mac didn't, Allen Iverson didn't, Jerry Stackhouse did not, Kerry Kittles did not. I'm trying to think of all the shooting guards of that. Allen Houston did not, Latrell Sprewell did not. I don't think Mitch Richmond shot 50% from the field. I'm trying to think of all the shooting guards at that time that were nice, and some of them are escaping me right now. I don't even think Dirk shot 50% from the field every single year as a jump shooter, because he shot more jumpers than most big men. I don't think he did. Point guards definitely didn't. Pick a point guard. Baron Davis did not. Steve Francis did not. Derrick Rose did not, as far as I know. Westbrook did not shoot 50% from the field. Westbrook, that's a no-brainer. You'd be like, duh. A lot of these guys, Chris Paul, I don't think shot 50% from the field during that time. A lot of these guys did not shoot 50% from the field. It's very hard to do when there was no space. If you watch some of the tapes back then, everybody was near the paint. There was not this there wasn't 23-point shots being hoisted a game by every single team. Not every team was doing that back then. Teams ran systems, they ran plays. There was things that had to be done on the floor. Screens had to be harder. They didn't have as many moving screens. You couldn't cheat as much. You had to really be about that life within the rules that were set before you. And Carmelo Anthony still found a way to shoot 64% on pull-up jump shots. I think Melo scored 60-something points, 62 points, I think, on all jumpers one game. I think it was literally all jumpers. Let's see if I can use AI to figure that out. Did Carmelo Anthony have a 60-point game on all jump shots? Okay, so they didn't say it was all jump shots. But some of those 2-pointers would have been inside the paint. He also had a 50-point game, scored. Okay, so he had a 50-point game against the Heat where he scored all of his points on jump shots. That's what they said. So the 50-point game against the Heat was all jump shots. However, Melo only shot 45% from the field for his career. And I say only laughingly. That was about the average for that time period. That actually was better than average for that time period. Most people were around like 42% that were shooting, that were guards. And he still shot 64% on pull-up jump shots. Some people will see this and try to say, oh, you know, somebody like KD or one of these other guys shooting 50% now is the same as Melo. They're not. And I don't care till the day I die. I'll preach this from the high heavens. Carmelo Anthony is a better scorer than Kevin Durant. People talk about Carmelo Anthony and say he was a bully. He would beat you up. He was a lot to deal with. He was a great rebounder. He was in your chest, pause, 24/7. People had a hard time guarding him. Nobody had a hard time guarding Kevin Durant, who, by his own admission, said, I like to play on teams where I'm not the focal point, where I can play within the flow of the offense and take good shots. Does that sound like a scorer to you? I want to take good shots? Come on, man. Good shots is not what it's about when you're a scorer. To be the best scorer, you got to be able to make shots when nobody else can make them. That's really being a great scorer. Allen Iverson, 48 points, game 1 of the 2001 finals against the Lakers. Nobody had beaten the Lakers to that point. Beats the Lakers. I don't care what his field goal percentage was. He scored 48 points against Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, who were 16-1, I think, to that point. When he beat him, I think that was the one. And you want to talk to me about your field goal percentage? If you haven't already figured out, I dread and I'm completely disgusted when people bring up field goal percentage as far as like scoring. Nobody ever played a basketball game, and at the end of that game, at the end of the day, after you played 7 or 8 games at the court, just balling your life out, nobody came back and said, yo, he was averaging like 5 or 6 points a game, maybe 7 or 8, even though games are only going to 12. But his field goal percentage, I tracked it. It was like 42. Did anybody ever do that? How come when I was watching Allen Iverson do that against the Lakers, and I'm a Laker fan, I was sitting there like, geez, man, could somebody stop this guy? Never once did it cross my mind to look at his field goal percentage, as if somehow that would save the Lakers from losing this game, like Allen Iverson wasn't hot out there. But we always want to talk about field goal percentage. But we don't want to talk about stuff like this. How has this never been talked about before? In 2016, 2017, Carmelo Anthony shot 64% on pull-up jumpers. Why is this not talked about? Oh yeah, maybe it doesn't fit the narrative. Maybe they didn't like Carmelo Anthony. Maybe they took the Rookie of the Year away from Carmelo Anthony. Maybe we forget that in the Olympics he had like a 37-point game, which I believe is still the highest points in the Olympic tournament that anybody's ever had. And I think he had that off the bench. But you know, per usual, we never wanted Carmelo Anthony to be as good as he was, so we just sweep that under the rug and we don't talk about it. Well, I'm here to tell you that for my top 5 scorers, Carmelo's in there. And I'm also here to tell you that in my top 5 scorers, Durant is not. And maybe another video I'll explain to you why, but I gave you a little snippet of it. He only wants to take good shots. He wants to be a scorer. He wants to shoot the ball, but not be a leader. When it's tough, when people are in his grill, when people are physical with him, he folds. I've never heard anybody say that about Carmelo Anthony. Now, maybe he wasn't the winner that some other people have been. But it's not because they could stop him. He needed to be a better leader, maybe. He needed to be more efficient on defense, right? He needed to galvanize his team in that way. But I never heard him say, at the very least, I don't want to be a leader. Or I'm not a leader like KD did. So, primarily this video is about how amazing it is to shoot 64% on pull-up jump shots. Do you know how disgusting your jumper has to be? Scoring 50 points on all jump shots is insane. You think KD could do that? 50 points on all jumpers? Honestly, does KD even have a 50-point game, or he just doesn't have a 60-point game? Let me see. Does Kevin Durant have a 50-point game? Yes. He has 3 of them, I think. But he doesn't have a 60-point game. But he's the best scorer. Got it. All right. Please. So thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Make sure that you comment so we can have debates. What do you think, man? Do you think just anybody could shoot 64% on pull-up jumpers for an entire season? Do you think there's a lot of people that have done that? I don't know. Let me know. What do you think in the comment section? I really appreciate your time. I'm very thankful. I'm very humble. Much love. That somehow you never get over me.